You are watching Sagarmatha Television. Now it's time for a legal discussion with attorneys at law from the law office of Lewis and Associates in Falls Church, Virginia. Let's hear what they have to say today.
Namaste viewers, this is Aliazar.
Namaste viewers, this is Alfredo Asin.
And you're watching us on Sagarmatha Television from the law offices of Lewis and Associates in Falls Church, Virginia. Alfredo, I have an interesting topic for you for this particular segment. We have seen, unfortunately, in many parts of the world, Southeast Asia and a lot of other countries that from where immigrants originate, that the minute you get your permanent residence or in some cases even a simple non-immigrant visa, the individual, whether it's a male or a female, miraculously have offspring and relatives and spouses materialize out of thin air. We know that a lot of times people, if a male individual has applied for a lottery visa, then they will also bring on a spouse which does not exist before. In most cases, these are sham relationships, sham marriages, which are done purely for the purpose of immigration, for evading U.S. immigration laws. But because there's limited review in these processes, a lot of time at the consular level, these people do end up coming in the U.S. and then they end up filing divorces literally the minute they step off the plane. So what would you advise? What are the consequences? And what would you say to someone that may be thinking of going down this route?
Well, Lee, that unfortunately, it sounds like you're describing an immigration fraud type of scenario. In America, the law is pretty clear. When they're evaluating your marriage, they look at your intention, your heart. Did you two marry for love, or did you marry to gain an immigration benefit in the U.S.?
Right.
It doesn't matter if later on you guys fall in love. What matters is when you said I do, were you guys doing it for immigration or for love? So in this scenario, it looks like you're telling me that they were doing it for immigration,
Correct.
In which case, unfortunately, the answer would be that you're potentially barring not just yourself, also your spouse, and also exposing yourselves to potential further prosecution on the criminal end.
What type of criminal penalties can arise?
Well, all sorts. It depends how much they want to throw the book at you, so to speak.
But
right?
is there, you're looking at jail time, or are you looking at fines, or are we looking at both potentially?
You're potentially looking at both. You're potentially, and in addition to that, at the end of it, you're also looking at getting deported.
And maybe not having the ability to ever come back as well.
Correct, because once you've committed fraud, that's usually a permanent bar in the United States.
Again, we advise most of our clients and generally to people, whatever you do today may have consequences days, months, years, decades down the line. If this is where you intend to live, if this is going to be your home, you want to make sure that there's nothing in your past that will take away your right from being in your home. You can have the authorities, these records are verifiable, these records remain there for life. As things are progressing after 9/11, these records are becoming more and more accurate and more easily accessible. You don't want to say something today in an application which can be refuted or questioned 5 years down the line or 10 years down the line, because you would be so much more vested into this country at that time. And frankly speaking, this is a great country which gives all immigrants, I know it did that for me, it gives us the chance to come here and truly make a life. And I think we should reciprocate in the same way, where we stand by the rules and basically not make fools of ourselves, correct?
That's correct.
I think this is just about as much time as we have today, Alfredo. So viewers, this is Aliazar.
This is Alfredo Asin.
Saying goodbye and God bless for now.
Thank you.
Sagarmatha Television.
Now it's time for our health segment with Dr. Dan Biswakarma from Lorton, Virginia. Let's hear what advice he has to give to us today.
नमस्कार, म डाक्टर दान विश्वकर्मा। यहाँहरूलाई याद होला कि मैले गत हप्ता यो कोलेस्ट्रोल सम्बन्धी छोटो जानकारी दिएको थिएँ र यो कोलेस्ट्रोलहरू कति किसिमको हुन्छ भनेर चाहिँ बताएको थिएँ। फेरि पनि म यहाँहरूलाई बताउँछु, कोलेस्ट्रोललाई चाहिँ हामी दुई भागमा विभाजन गरिन्छ। यो एउटा राम्रो खालको कोलेस्ट्रोल र अर्को नराम्रो कोलेस्ट्रोल। राम्रोलाई चाहिँ हामी एचडिएल कोलेस्ट्रोल भनिन्छ र नराम्रोलाई चाहिँ नन एचडिएल कोलेस्ट्रोल, जसमध्ये यो एलडिएल कोलेस्ट्रोल, ट्राइग्लिसराइड र भिएलडिएल कोलेस्ट्रोल भनिन्छ। त्यसमध्ये पनि एलडिएल कोलेस्ट्रोल चाहिँ एकदमै नराम्रो हुन्छ। यसले चाहिँ हामीलाई चाहिँ धेरै कुराहरूमा चाहिँ असर पारेको हुन्छ। यहाँहरूलाई बताउँ कि आज यो एचडिएल कोलेस्ट्रोल केबाट पाइन्छ र नन एचडिएल कोलेस्ट्रोलहरू, ब्याड कोलेस्ट्रोलहरू कहाँ केबाट पाइन्छ र हामी कसरी बच्न सक्छौँ त्यसको बारेमा छोटो जानकारी गराउँछु म। पहिला चाहिँ यो एचडिएल कोलेस्ट्रोलको बारेमा कुरा गरौँ। यो हामीलाई चाहिँ यो एचडिएल कोलेस्ट्रोल चाहिँ यो हामीमा शरीरबाटै बन्छ। यो पनि खानाबाट पनि पाइन्छ। तर यो चाहिँ हामीले चाहिँ यदि नियमित रूपमा चाहिँ एक्सर्साइज गरिरहेका छौँ, स्ट्रेस फ्री भएको छौँ भने चाहिँ हामी यो चाहिँ एचडिएल कोलेस्ट्रोल बढ्न जान्छ हामीले खाएकै खानाबाट पनि, र शरीर पनि बनाउँछ। त्यस्तै गरेर हामी चाहिँ यो पोली अनस्याचुरेटेड फ्याट भन्ने एउटा फ्याट हुन्छ, त्यो खायौँ भने त्यसबाट पनि हामीले चाहिँ एचडिएल कोलेस्ट्रोल चाहिँ प्राप्त गर्छौँ। पोली अनस्याचुरेटेड फ्याटहरू चाहिँ प्रायः सो प्लान्ट सोर्सबाट पाइन्छ। यो उसबाट चाहिँ भनौँ न साग पदार्थ भयो, अनि आएर तपाईँको यो अन्य सागपातहरू भयो, यिनीहरूबाट चाहिँ यो पाइन्छ भने नन एचडिएल कोलेस्ट्रोल, ब्याड कोलेस्ट्रोलहरू चाहिँ विशेष गरेर पोली अनस्याचुरेटेड फ्याटमा स्याचुरेटेड फ्याटमा पाइन्छ। यो चाहिँ एनिमल सोर्सबाट पाइन्छ। भन्नुको अर्थ चाहिँ यो डेयरी प्रडक्टदेखि लिएर मासुहरू चाहिँ खाने, माछा चाहिँ राम्रो कोलेस्ट्रोलमा आउँछ। यो मासुहरूमा पनि अर्ग्यानबाट त लिभरहरू भयो, किडनीहरू भयो, त्यसबाट चाहिँ बढी मात्रामा चाहिँ आउने हुन्छ। त्यसैले म यहाँहरूलाई चाहिँ के सजेस्ट गर्छु भने चाहिँ सकिन्छ भने मासुहरू चाहिँ एकदमै कम खाने अथवा खाँदै नखाने र प्लान्ट प्रोटिनतिर लाग्ने, त्यसमाथि पनि माछाहरू धेरै खाने, एक्सर्साइजहरू बराबर गरिराख्ने, त्यस्तै गरेर स्ट्रेस फ्री हुने। त्यस्तो भयो भने चाहिँ हामीले चाहिँ एचडिएल कोलेस्ट्रोलबाट चाहिँ बढाउन सक्छौँ र एलडिएल कोलेस्ट्रोल र त्यस्तै गरेर अन्य ब्याड कोलेस्ट्रोलहरू चाहिँ घटाउन सक्छौँ र अन्य रोगहरू लाग्नुबाट चाहिँ बच्न सक्छौँ। हस्त आजलाई यो कोलेस्ट्रोल सम्बन्धी थप जानकारी यति नै। अर्को हप्ता फेरि यस्तै जानकारी लिएर उपस्थित हुनेछु। त्यति बेलाको लागिसम्म बिदा दिनुहोस्। नमस्कार।
Well, viewers, that's all for today. We hope you have enjoyed this episode of Sagarmatha Television. Don't forget to watch Nepal Darshan Television every Sunday at 12:30 p.m. right here on MHZ Networks. Now we would like to conclude today's episode with this beautiful Nepali song. See you next week. Until then, I am Shreyaska the Hall saying goodbye and namaste.
सपना